Okay. This is a good one. I'm even wearing an appropriate shirt today. Yes, it's my lovely African animal shirt. Because this story takes place in the infamous Kruger National Park. The Kruger National Park, one of South Africa's absolute highlights. Nestled in the northeastern part of the country, bordering on Mozambique and Zimbabwe, the Kruger Park showcases the absolute best in South Africa's wildlife. My dog is barking again. The lion, the elephant, the leopard, the rhino and the buffalo. I think that's it, right? Anyway, the Kruger Park is a wonderful place to visit. You take your car and you drive through by yourself and you get to go on your own safari, which is really, really great. And you can see amazing things like this, or like this. And this is a place where just in a couple of hours, this can turn to this. I know it's really sad, but hey, that's nature. The great circle of life. Now, if you're going to be in the Kruger Park for a couple of days, make sure you go with someone you can actually stand to spend hours and hours and hours in a car with. I went with one of my besties, Lyle. The great thing about Lyle is that he's also a biologist. So you're not just on a safari, you're on a safari with someone who kind of knows a little bit about animals and about wildlife, especially in South Africa. Oh, what fun we had. Except for the time he risked our lives and got out of the car, which is totally not allowed, to take a picture of a tree. No, but other than that, he's great. Except for when he makes you stop the car and you think he's seen a rhino or something, but actually he's just seen some lame bird like a yellow-chested butter bobber or whatever. I don't know what these things are called. But we were really lucky. We saw a whole bunch of different animals and we just really enjoyed our time together. We actually kind of drove from camp to camp. We'd sleep at one place, pack our stuff, go on safari, and then sleep at another place the following night. Now, this is where the story comes in. This is actually quite a crazy story. So after our second day of safarying, is that a word? I don't know. We left the park to find our camp, like a really beautiful camp, these luxury tents. It had a huge bonfire. So happy to arrive there, settle in, and then have this amazing South African buffet meal. We were so hungry. We had a really great car. I was driving a huge Toyota 4x4. I punched the address of this place into Google Maps. It was supposed to be about 10 kilometers away. It produces these directions to a place that is a little bit further away. My bad. Okay, let's just go. So we drive. And we drive. We drive some more. And then there's a road closure. And it takes us via a dirt road to this township. Why would we be driving through a township to get to a safari lodge? We drive through the township, we leave the township, and we've got open road, and now we're just thinking, okay, cool, so this place is gonna pop up at some point. By now we've been on the road for about an hour already. We get into another township. So then we drive through another township, and another one, and another one. A weird place to put a safari lodge. In between you'd have these beautiful landscapes, these lovely hills, these lush green areas, and you think, okay, well, this is a great place. Still kind of close to a township, but whatever. So we get closer, we end up in another township, by the way. We get closer and closer and closer to what Google says is our destination. We pass these houses, these little roads. All of these are dirt roads, by the way. And finally we reach a dead end. And right in front of us is a graveyard. And Google says,
"You have arrived at your destination."
huh? Okay, so obviously we got the address wrong, and I still blame Google to this day. We had no reception, we had no Wi-Fi. So Lyle just takes things into his own hand, which is always great. I love it when people do that. He kind of directs us back towards the Kruger Park. Let's hit the road. We've been on the road for 2 hours now. So the roads in the province of Mpumalanga are terrible. potholes everywhere. Now it's starting to get dark and all we want is to shower, relax and eat. And this huge buffet is waiting for us. So we're on a highway and we at some point have to make our way back through these really weird little towns. So now it's completely dark and it starts to rain. See these raindrops. And then we look a little bit more closely. Those weren't raindrops. Those were some kind of creatures. These things are flying around. Ugh, so disgusting. We'd actually entered into a locust swarm. Millions and millions and millions of locusts. We were literally in the Old Testament. God had sent a plague down on us. They were flying against our windscreen, splattering all over. We had to roll up the windows because they were coming into the car. I told Lyle to shut down the aircon because I was convinced they'd crawl through the aircon. You know, I don't even know. But you know that feeling when you see something gross and you feel like it's on you? I actually feel like the locusts are on me now. Wherever you looked, locusts, 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 locusts. Oh, how are people even, and do they eat people? Because they look like they eat people. I can still hear the hissing. It's quite traumatic. And this wasn't something we drove through for 10 minutes. Not for 20 minutes, not 30 minutes. We drove through this for about an hour and 15 minutes. Listening to the original Broadway cast recording of Mean Girls, the musical. Just imagine seeing nothing but locusts around you. Eventually, we managed to escape. It took a while, the locusts became less and less. I also think they had to self-destruct or something once their job was done, eliminating Earth. We literally sprinted through the darkness, like moored through those potholes. It was madness. And we finally reached our safari camp and the manager came up to us. She was so lovely. Oh my gosh, I thought you were lost. I thought you were dead. Finally, we actually saved you some of the food from the buffet, so please enjoy it, relax, you've made it. And she actually explained to us that they'd had more rain than usual beforehand, which meant an increase in locusts. So I suppose bad timing. We were so tired, we were so hungry, we just shoved that food into our faces. I think I had like a quadruple whiskey. And I was really happy to go to bed. Lyle still went off frog hunting and then, as I was walking to our tent, this gigantic antelope jumps out of the bush, misses me by like 2 centimeters, and then just disappears again. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with nature. You do you, I'll do me. Okay? All in all, this day was crazy. We'd done the most amazing drive through the park. We saw so many animals. We had so many laughs. The weather was amazing. And then we had that whole experience, which was quite a bonding experience, I have to say. If you can sit through a locust swarm with someone, man, you're tight for life. The rest of the trip went quite smoothly. It was really, really beautiful. It was such a great holiday. This experience will always be in my head and I'm so glad I can share it with my really good friend Lyle. Even though he puts up a tough exterior sometimes, he was shitting his pants a little bit. Maybe it was also my driving. So that's it from me today. If you want to get updates on my news stories, how about liking and following? I always see people do this in YouTube videos. I didn't put a link, I'm not going to put a link, just you know what to do. I don't think it's that difficult. And please share these stories. They might make someone happy, they might entertain someone else, besides you of course. And especially for those of you in lockdown, you know, it's a bit of fun every single day. So I'm checking out for today. See you tomorrow.